for the first thing I want to say is with the 50% and 2/3 of Latinos that don't have employer-sponsored retirement plans, Social Security just has become increasingly important. And there's lots of information and stats on that, but certainly one that sticks out for me is that more than half of all Latino seniors rely on Social Security for at least 90% of their retirement income right now. And if you look at other numbers of dependency and reliance on Social Security, you realize it's just a crucial insurance system, and there are still many workers because of immigration status over time who are ineligible for Social Security and ultimately will be when they retire or fail to have the qualifying quarters. That will become major issues for them, and certainly this bill that we're discussing now could have an influence over that as well. So we're involved in those conversations as well. But as many of you know, as we have found out, Social Security just shouldn't be the only source of income, which is why we've engaged in the conversation around private market options for low-wage workers. And I do think that certainly, when we started talking about this, it very much was true that many experts in the field would just discount, the large numbers of low-wage workers and say, look, forget about them. They're about social insurance, and we just shouldn't even bother with that segment of the population. And I think we certainly disagree. I mean, we saw lots of low-wage workers, in fact, saving. We talked to a lot of people in the field who, in fact, wanted to save for retirement and wanted more options to do so. And again, with the notion that there's probably a lot more mobility than we tend to see in some of the data, where providing some opportunities and incentives to save remains crucial. So when we look at the policy options, and we like a lot of what we're seeing more recently between the automatic enrollment options and certainly Harkin's bill, and was mentioned the California effort as well, which I think John and others can talk to with more detail, but has some really good features that we like, most of which are proposals that are designed to make it simple and easy for workers to participate. And if you look at California, where you have a large chunk of workers that are Latino, it's going to be interesting to see how that proposal is rolled out and ultimately implemented and adopted in ways that tries to bring in more and more Latino workers, but also immigrant workers into the framework. And so we're hopeful and we're optimistic that we'll get to learn a lot through states that are advancing on this level in the ways that the federal government really isn't at this stage.